Ahoy there, mateys! Welcome back. So today we're going to be visiting Chapter 6, Number Yummers. When Wally finally got back up to the main deck, most of the puppy pirates were gathered around the captain's list of instructions. Now the patients had all been cared for. The others could get back to work. There wasn't much time left. Curly was off meeting with Chumley, the German shepherd who ran the map room. The two of them were making sure the ship was on course of calm seas. No one wanted to hit a storm before the Pirate Day party. Woohoo! What's the next thing on the instructions list? Wally asked Piggly. Through a mouthful of cheese and bacon treats, Piggly blurted out, "I don't know." You don't know? Wally asked. He tried to squeeze through the crowd to get to Henry. When he was near enough to see the codes, Wally's first thought was, the next one must be trickier than the last code. Number Yummers. Step 2. Blimey! The code is in some other language, Spike said, whimpering. We're never gonna figure it out. Never say never, Pugly scolded. A pirate can do anything if she sets her mind to it. Henry chewed on his lower lip and stared at the jumble of numbers. It says Number Yummers at the top. So maybe this code is telling us something about the food for the party. I.e., Wally barked. Arr, 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 arr. He loved that his best mate was so smart about everything. In case you were wondering, Henry said, I think it might be some sort of recipe. I doubt that. Pugly said. Crumbs toppled out of her mouth. The captain can't cook. Henry began writing something on the bottom of the list of instructions. It was the alphabet. Under each letter, he wrote a number. A1, B2, C4, E5, F6. He just kept trying to figure out the code. It's a letter to number code, Henry said, slapping his forehead. One by one, he put a letter under each of the numbers on Redbeard's list. 20T, 18R, 5E, 1A, 20T. See? Henry said, grinning, and gathered the crew. It says, treat time, meat time, lots of yummy eat time, peek under the pepper. The captain must have hidden our special treats for Pirate Day. This tells us where to find them. Follow me, Pugly ordered. She led the crew towards the galley. I know my way around the kitchen. But when they arrived in the galley, everyone screeched to a halt. Dishes were everywhere. Nothing was in its usual place. With Steak Eye sick in bed, no one had done the dishes since the night before. Pups had been in and out of the kitchen all day, helping themselves to snacks. The place was such a mess that it took a few moments before they noticed Steak Eye, the ship's cook, tiny cook, spinning in lazy circles in the center of the room. A blanket draped across his back dragged along the floor. Steak Eye! Wally gasped. Oh! The cook looked at him with watery, sleepy eyes. Achoo! Are you okay? Pugly asked. Steak Eye blinked twice and spun in one last circle, then curled up in bed and shoo, shoo, he fell asleep. Is he sleepwalking? Spike wondered. Steak Eye snored louder. Shoo! Then he made a gurgling noise in his sleep. Don't laugh, Pugly warned. We don't want to wake him. He'd be furious if he wakes up and sees the state of the kitchen. While a few pups worked together to carry Steak Eye back to his quarters, Henry said, I wonder who made such a mess of this place. I came in to get Old Salt a snack earlier, Piggly explained, and I fixed a couple of midnight snacks for myself last night. I got some sardines and jam for Captain, Wally mumbled, but I forgot to clean it up after. And I tried to whip up some stew for my breakfast, Spike said. Not tasty. We need Steak Eye to get well soon. I'm starving. It was clear that almost everyone on board had been a part of making the mess in the galley. Each of the pups' little mess added up to one big mess. It was going to be impossible to find the treats for the party. Still, they got to work searching. They sniffed in the pots and tore through the cupboards. Soon the kitchen was even more of a mess than it had been before. Still, no one could find the pepper. Wally sniffed in the air. His nose tickled. He almost sneezed. He was pretty sure he had just picked up a whiff of pepper. It was coming from behind the towering stack of pots. He poked his nose into the stack. He wiggled, it wobbled, it swayed, and crash! The whole stack of pots fell to the floor with a loud clatter. Shiver me timbers! Henry shouted with joy. Woo! He pushed aside the mess of fallen pots and uncovered a box marked P-E-P-P-E-R. Pepper! The puppy pirates nosed the pepper aside. Henry lifted open the crate below. It's full of sausages and smoked fish. Mmm. The puppies cheered, hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! But their celebration was short-lived. Curly had just walked through the door. The galley had never been more of a disaster. Okay, boys and girls, that is the end of our chapter. So as we watched this chapter, we saw in the plot that there was a rising action. And in the challenges appeared, Pugly scolded, never say never. He met the challenge always with a note of ambition. And he was inspired to keep going and looking, searching for the party treats. Basically, they had a vision to find the party treats. And they didn't stop until they met their goal. And, as usual, I always tie it into our own lives. So, with that being said, boys and girls, dream big. Always have ambition. Be inspired. Set a goal and accomplish it. Know that the world is full of naysayers. People who tell you, can't happen. No, never. But don't listen to them. Know that change is automatic. Like what happened in our lives. We had a huge change. But progress, you have to work. That's not automatic. You have to make progress happen. So like your parents, they have to stay on you, make you do all the things that you normally do. They have to keep working from home. They have to be disciplined and set a good example for you. And you have to read. You have to open up your electronic book and read. You have to do your math lessons online. You have to talk, use sentences when you speak. You have to enjoy your family. And all of those things that add to progress, they will make you happy because progress equals happiness. And in life, that's really what we're all kind of working towards. It's just our own little bit of happiness. So stay tuned because to follow, we have a little video slideshow about plot. And in it, I will explain what I meant by the rising action of the story, among other things. Thanks so much for watching. Ship ahoy, mateys. I look forward to seeing y'all for the next chapter. Bye-bye for now. Good morning, boys and girls. Today we are talking about story elements. Story elements are the different parts to a fictional story. Specifically, I want to look at the plot. So, boys and girls, as you read a book, you should pay attention to the plot and notice how it's made up of 5 different parts: the exposition, the rising action, the climax, the falling action, and the resolution. I call this the plot roller coaster. The exposition is when the author introduces the characters and the setting. So as you read a book, you know there's always characters in the story. And those are the people who are acting, and they're sharing their emotions, and they tell us all about the story. Along with that, it also includes the location of the story, where the story is happening, the setting. The next part is the rising action. That's when the conflict, the problem of the story is revealed, boys and girls. And next, we get to the climax of the story. There will be a change in the story. There will be a change in the course of events, like Mickey Mouse turning from white and getting his color and changing his attitude. Things start to get brighter and look better during the falling action. And the very last part is the resolution. That's when the story gets fixed, the happy ending, or however way it ends. Thanks so much. So the plot is basically the storyline, the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and click a thumbs up if you like our digital learning experience.